Hello everyone, today we're talking about Chapter 1, Lesson 4, solving two-step and multi-step equations. So the objective for today is to solve equations in one variable that contain more than one operation. Okay? So solve equations, so we're dealing with things that have equal signs, right? With one variable, so just one, that contain more than one operation. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first example says solve two-step equations and check your answer. So here's our first equation right here. 10 equals 6 minus 2x. So we're solving this. We're trying to get x by itself, right? There's a lot of stuff going on this side of the equation. So to isolate it, so we have 6 minus 2x. So we have to get rid of this 6 before we can get rid of the negative 2 that's attached to the x through multiplication. So we're going to do the inverse operation of this 6. This 6 is positive, so the inverse operation would be subtracting. So we're going to subtract 6 to both sides. 10 take away 6 would be 4. 4 equals, those cancel out. We're left with negative 2x. And we want to get x by itself. So this is negative 2 times x. That's what that means. So the inverse operation of multiplication would be division. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. And negative 2, right? This is a negative 2. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 times x is just x. Or 1 times x, which is x. And then we have 4 divided by negative 2. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. And 4 divided by 2 is just 2. And I'm going to use the symmetric property of equality and just go ahead and flip-flop that. And there we have it. Now we're going to go ahead and check our answer. So I'm going to write check. Okay, I'm going to write the original equation, which is 10 equals 6 minus 2x. And then we're going to substitute that negative 2 in for x. Now remember, whenever you substitute a negative number in for a variable, you have to put it in parentheses like that, okay? So this 10 is already simplified, so we're just going to rewrite it. We're not going to do anything. And then we're just going to do order of operations for this side of the equation. So we have to do this multiplication first. This is a negative 2 times a negative 2. I'm going to rewrite the 6. A negative times a negative is a positive. 2 times 2 is 4. So we have 6 plus 4, which is 10. This is a true statement, which means our solution, x equals negative 2, is the solution to the original equation. 10 equals 6 minus 2x. All right, cool. Let's work on the next one here. We have negative 4 plus 7x equals 3. So again, we're trying to isolate this x and get that x by itself. There's a variety of things on this side of the equation, right? We have this negative 4 plus 7x. And see how this 7 is it's kind of attached to that x, okay? So we're going to get rid of this stuff on the outside first. So we're going to do the inverse of negative 4, which would be a positive 4. So we're going to use the addition property of equality to both sides. Negative 4 plus 4 cancels each other out. And we have 7x equals 3 plus 4 is 7. All right, so we have x here. We need to get x by itself. There's a 7 at 7 times x. The inverse operation of multiplication will be division. We're going to divide both sides by 7. We get 7 divided by 7, which is 1. 1 times x is x. And then over here, 7 divided by 7 is 1. So there's our answer right there. But we're going to check our answer. So we're going to write the word check. Okay, that lets me know in your homework that you're about to do the check. And we're always going to write down that original equation, what we started with, negative 4 plus 7x equals 3. And we're going to substitute that 1 in for the x. So I'm going to rewrite everything and just do that one thing. Okay? Now we're going to do order of operations for this side of the equation. We're going to do that multiplication first. So I'm going to rewrite the negative 4 plus 7 times 1 is just 7 equals 3. And then, yeah, there's nothing really to simplify, so we just keep writing equals 3 over here on this side. We're going to add, so we have negative 4 plus 7. This is negative, this is positive, so you find the difference between 7 and 4, which is 3. And then you look at which number's bigger. 7's bigger, 7's positive. That means our answer is also going to be positive. So we have 3 equals 3. That's a true statement, which means our solution, x equals 1, is the solution to our original equation right over there. Okay, this is the last two-step equation that we're going to do. C, so here, this one's a little different. We're going to try to find what n equals. So this time, what do we have? We have n is being divided by 7 here, but it's still right there kind of attached to that n. So we're going to do this outside bit. We're going to get rid of the outside bit first. So we're going to do the inverse operation of addition, which would be subtraction to both sides. So we're going to subtract by 2 to both sides. We end up with n over 7 because that cancels each other out. And then 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, now we're trying to get n by itself. So right now we have n divided by 7. We have to get rid of that dividing by 7 by doing the inverse operation of division, which would be multiplying both sides by 7. Okay, if I make that a fraction, these 7s are going to cancel each other out, right? 7 goes into 7 one time, 7 goes into 7 one time. You multiply across, you get 1 times n, or 1n, divided by 1 times 1, which is 1. And you get 0 times 7, which is just 0. And 1 divided by 1 is 1. 1 times n is just n. So our answer is n equals 0. Okay, now we're going to do the check. Okay, so I'm going to write the word check. I'm going to write that original equation, n over 7 plus 2 equals 2. I'm going to substitute the 0 in for n, and I'm going to have 0 over 7 plus 2 equals 2. 0 divided by 7 is just 0. Okay, so this all just ends up being 0 plus 2, which is 2 equals 2, which is a true statement, which means our solution, n equals 0, is the solution to our original equation. All right, we'll see in a little bit for example 2.